Hello everyone! Get ready for an epic face-off in this video. Human engineering ingenuity versus the unstoppable forces of nature. You'll witness some of the world's most catastrophic dam failures. Shocking and unique footage awaits you in this compilation. So let's get it on. Dam failures rank among the most terrifying technological disasters because they occur suddenly and their effects can impact vast areas. One such unexpected incident was the dam failure in Stoski, Poland, a town with a population of 6,000. One Sunday morning in the fall of 2024, the earthen dam collapsed, unleashing water in a chaotic flood. The breach led to a rapid flooding of the city and nearby towns. As often happens, this sudden event caused chaos and uncertainty. Some residents who couldn't evacuate on their own had to be rescued by helicopters. It was later revealed that there was no radio communication available at the dam to issue a warning about the breach. Thanks to a fortunate turn of events, the flooding didn't have any tragic results, but it highlighted the need for a more responsible approach to these kinds of structures. The dam failure at the Mount Poly tailings storage facility marked a significant environmental disaster. Mount Poly was an operational gold and copper mine located in northern British Columbia, Canada. On August 4, 2014, the dam experienced a catastrophic breach, releasing 25 million cubic meters of water mixed with toxic mining waste into nearby lakes and rivers. According to the findings of the investigating commission, the cause of the dam's failure was a structural inadequacy that failed to consider the instability of the boulder clay beneath it. After the catastrophe, local authorities announced a state of emergency, imposing limits on drinking water use and fishing activities. The government of British Columbia allocated $40 million for pollution cleanup efforts. Even after many years, environmentalists are still detecting high concentrations of arsenic, copper, manganese, and other potentially dangerous chemicals in this region. This is a troubling example of how careless management of natural resources can lead to severe and long-term impacts on both people and the ecosystem. Lake Teoma, located on the border between Oklahoma and Texas, is one of the largest reservoirs in the US, covering an impressive 360 square kilometers. It was created by the Stevenson Dam, built in 1943, and is primarily fed by the Red River of the South and the Washita River. The main purpose of the dam and lake is to protect the region from annual floods. In addition, Teoma provides water supply, generates electricity, and helps manage the rivers. Still, managing such a massive water body comes with its challenges. In 2015, Texas made headlines worldwide as rising waters triggered a wave of anomalies and destruction. Roads were submerged, and some even washed away, while the Stevenson Dam spillway turned into a dangerous whirlpool. Fortunately, the locals, accustomed to living by the water, managed to cope with the disaster through courage and mutual support. At times, a dam breach turns into a large-scale geological catastrophe. This was the case at a Jade Mine in the Rapidan area of Myanmar. The dams at these processing plants surround tailing ponds that hold the leftover waste from mining. These types of structures frequently become sources of environmental hazards, particularly when production regulations are ignored. The footage shows how a small landslide leads to a full-scale dam failure, with the embankment collapsing entirely and spilling waste into the adjacent pit. Eyewitnesses recorded the moment when one of the dams at the rdoba Reservoir in Uzbekistan collapsed. The reservoir is a major water infrastructure project, spanning roughly 60 square kilometers and reaching depths of up to 28 meters. Built in 2017 for irrigation and power generation, it suffered a catastrophic failure in 2020. The breach resulted in the flooding of 610 square kilometers of land, forcing the evacuation of several tens of thousands of residents. Investigations revealed that the collapse was caused by errors in the project plans and oversights during the construction phase. A large-scale project meant to enhance the quality of life in the region turned into a tragic disaster. The Tyne Arch Dam is a magnificent and stunning part of the hydroelectric complex located in the Auvergne-Rhône-Alpes region of France. Built in the early 1950s, it forms a reservoir that holds 235 million cubic meters of water and covers almost 3 square kilometers. Despite its impressive size, this giant often finds it difficult to handle the impacts of climate change. Autumn 2019 saw heavy rainfall in the region, leading to significant flooding and landslides. Although the Tyne Dam was not destroyed, it was overwhelmed and discharged large volumes of water. The Oroville Dam, a powerful and impressive structure built in the 1960s, stands as the tallest dam in the United States, reaching a height of 235 meters. Located on the right bank of the Feather River, a tributary of the Sacramento, it plays a crucial role in supplying water to the entire state of California. The reservoir has a capacity of over 4 cubic kilometers. Its main spillway is particularly famous, resembling a water slide in an amusement park. This concrete channel measures 930 meters in length and 505 meters in width, featuring a ramp at the end where water cascades into the Feather River. In the winter of 2017, a serious crisis occurred at the dam. Following a rainfall of 330 millimeters over several days, the water inflow to the reservoir surged 4 times its normal rate. To address the situation, an emergency spillway was activated, which had never previously been used. However, erosion at the base of the dam rapidly worsened, threatening a complete collapse and a catastrophic flood. Around 188,000 people were evacuated from the surrounding areas, while engineers worked tirelessly to prevent the worst-case scenario. They even used helicopters to drop rocks and sandbags to reinforce the spillway. Thankfully, the situation was stabilized, preventing the flood from turning from alarming to catastrophic. In the aftermath, the Oroville Dam was upgraded to increase its spillway capacity to 710 cubic meters per second. stunning waterfall is a part of the Nola Chucky Dam, found along the river of the same name in Tennessee. For a century, this scenic spot has brought joy to both residents and visitors. Unfortunately, in September 2024, Hurricane Helen, a Category 4 tropical cyclone with winds of up to 240 km per hour, brought chaos to this peaceful location. In Tennessee, Hurricane Helen has turned into a post-tropical cyclone, bringing heavy rains as it dissipated. As a result, the Nola Chucky River has overflowed its banks, prompting the Tennessee Valley Authority to issue a red alert warning of an imminent dam breach or failure. In just a few hours, the idyllic scene of the waterfall turned into a terrifying sight as water levels reached a record 2.4 meters. Although torrents surged over the dam, causing severe flooding in the valley, the Nola Chucky Dam held strong, preventing a breach. Thanks to this, locals were spared even more extensive and destructive flood consequences. Disasters at dams always carry a sense of tragedy. These structures are part of our history, many having served humanity for generations. The Rapidan Dam, built in 1908 on the Blue Earth River, a tributary of the Minnesota River, survived the massive flood of 1965 and underwent a major upgrade in 1983. For years, the dam has served as a source of electricity and a point of pride for the Rapidan Township and the entire Blue Earth County, which is home to 70,000 residents. It's worth mentioning the famous restaurant known for its homemade pies, which operated right on the dam for several decades. Recent disasters have brought a halt to this once illustrious history. In 2019, flooding led to a shutdown of electricity production, and in the summer of 2024, heavy rains caused the Blue Earth River to overflow, pushing the situation to a critical point. The increasing pressure from the water and the debris it carried forced residents of the riverside area to evacuate. Over the course of a few days, the water has caused substantial damage to the dam, with severe erosion resulting in the collapse of the bank and several buildings. Now, the remnants of the dam are set to be demolished, and the nearby road bridge will be replaced with a new one. A dam failure in the UK has led to the evacuation of an entire town. In the summer of 2019, heavy rainfall in northern England triggered severe flooding. The Toddbrook Reservoir Dam, located near the town of Whaley Bridge in Derbyshire, was put under extreme pressure by the downpour, causing part of the structure to collapse. The risk was so great that the entire population of the town, about 5,000 people, was evacuated for a full week. To prevent a total failure of the dam, the UK Air Force was called in. A Chinook helicopter dropped 400 tons of material to reinforce the dam's foundation. Once the storm subsided, the reservoir was redesigned, and a new spillway was constructed to safely redirect floodwaters. Engineers estimate that by the winter of 2026, Toddbrook will return to its regular water level and once again serve as a venue for sailing and recreation. The Earth-filled dam has been under construction since 2013 in the southeastern region of the country, near the city of Pakchong. As part of an ambitious hydroelectric project known as the Battery of Asia, which has a budget of $1.2 billion. For a landlocked country traversed by many rivers, building dams and hydropower stations is vital to the economy. On July the 23rd at 8 p.m., an unexpected failure of a saddle dam, a secondary structure meant to hold water, led to disastrous outcomes. This breach swept away dozens of buildings, bridges and roads, leaving 6 nearby villages flooded. In total, 5 billion cubic meters of water hit Atapu province, resulting in many houses being completely submerged, with only their rooftops sticking out above the water. The devastation caused by the flooding was severe. While the exact reasons for the dam breach remain unclear, it's evident that critical mistakes were made during the construction phase. Moreover, there was a lack of foresight regarding the safety measures needed to protect the locals. Sometimes the most remarkable events take place in the most peaceful and far-off locations. In Edenville, a small town off the east side of Michigan's Tittabawassee River, a dam failure led to severe flooding.
There it goes. There it goes.
The Edenville Dam, built in 1924, was originally intended to regulate water levels and produce electricity. However, given its age, it's likely that the infrastructure wasn't built to handle modern challenges, especially after decades of use. It all began on the evening of May the 19th, 2020, when the Edenville Dam started to rapidly collapse. These scenes show the key moment when the point of no return was reached and the floodwaters started their chaotic onslaught. Due to heavy rains, the water level in the dam's reservoir rose sharply, and the eastern side of the dam gave way under the pressure. An evacuation was quickly ordered, and more than 10,000 people from Edenville, Sanford, and Midland had to abandon their homes. As is often the case, one problem led to another in a domino-like chain reaction. The water from the breached dam flowed downstream, causing the Tittabawassee River to overflow, which flooded the Sanford Dam and a vast area in Midland County. This resulted in significant damage, estimated at $200 million, and led to legal proceedings that determined the company owning the Edenville Dam violated state law by failing to address safety risks in a timely manner. The epic video was filmed during the breach of the dam at Archoosa Creek Water Park, situated close to Quitman, Mississippi. Once a beloved spot for tourism and fishing, the lake, which spans nearly 2 square kilometers, was severely impacted when a 30-meter rupture appeared in the dam's spillway, causing water to flood in and wash away the soil around it. The Meteorological Service immediately issued a warning about dangerous flash floods in the downstream areas. There was nothing more they could do. The means to seal off the breach that had already occurred simply didn't exist. Luckily, the unexpected incident didn't result in any casualties or property damage. Still, the effects of this local flooding catastrophe appear truly terrifying.
So, the road authorities have now declared this road closed.
In the summer of 2023, residents of Norway's west coast faced the devastating effects of Storm Hans, which struck northern Europe.
So that the road isn't completely taken by nature. Because as you see here, it's quite strong. And also, a little update. Approximately where I was yesterday, some of the stones they dropped.
The storm brought strong winds, heavy rains and landslides, resulting in numerous problems. One significant issue was the failure of the Braakjord hydroelectric dam, located northeast of Oslo. Following unprecedented rainfall, the Glomma River, the longest and most abundant river in Norway, overflowed its banks, and the structure couldn't withstand the pressure. Enormous amounts of water cascaded through the western parts of the concrete dam, forcing officials to evacuate 1,000 people living in nearby river communities. The flood was so intense that it even carried away a mobile home, which was crushed against the bridge supports by the swift current. Dams face threats not only from the whims of nature, but also from human factors. A unique incident occurred in Muskogee County, Oklahoma, when two barges broke free from their moorings during a flood of the Arkansas River. They drifted downstream in an uncontrolled manner until they collided with a dam. Given the high water levels, this collision posed a serious risk of damaging the structure or blocking the water flow, both of which could lead to flooding. As a result, the authorities ordered the evacuation of 600 residents from the town of Webbers Falls, located a few kilometers from the dam. Thankfully, things turned out well. The barges that were transporting fertilizer sank, but were successfully retrieved from the bottom a month later. Storm Frank was a nightmare for the British Isles during the winter of 2015, with the central regions of Scotland bearing the brunt. The critical level of rainfall, which arrived as an unwelcome Christmas surprise, led to severe flooding in the Highland area. The Pitlochry Dam, a local landmark, was hit particularly hard as it transformed from a majestic and tranquil spot into a roaring waterfall. Just look at how this concrete structure, built in the mid-20th century, bravely withstands the aftermath of the storm. It's sometimes hard to believe the enormous pressures dams can withstand. This summer, the Stevenson Dam hydroelectric plant on the Housatonic River in Connecticut faced the most significant challenge in its 100-year history. Unprecedented rainfall, unlike anything locals could remember, unleashed water flows onto the dam at rates 50 times higher than usual. The recent flooding led to severe destruction nearby, with a section of road in Monroe collapsing as a result. Fortunately, the Stevenson Dam remained intact. According to a spokesperson for the company that operates the dam, it would take an almost biblical event to endanger Stevenson Dam. This is an impressive achievement for a site included in the National Register of Historic Places.
You know what I
Dunlap Lake, a beautiful reservoir on the Guadalupe River, is located near New Braunfels, Texas. Since 1931, it's been used for generating electricity and has become a popular recreation spot. Covering an area of 170 hectares and sitting 175 meters above sea level, the lake experienced a major disaster on the morning of May 14, 2019. A failure in the spillway gate led to water flooding into the valley. It was later determined that the cause was the deterioration of the structural steel. By the day's end, the lake had almost emptied, and the water level had dropped by over 2 meters. Luckily, the lower concrete section of the dam held, preventing a complete drainage. Following the incident, plans were set in motion to rebuild the dam, which included installing state-of-the-art hydraulic gates. The project took several years and cost $35 million. It wasn't until the fall of 2023 that officials declared the water levels in Lake Dunlap were back to normal. A dam failure can turn even the calmest river into a major threat. Recent heavy rains in central Russia triggered flooding in the Gorodianka River, which breached the earthen dam. As a result, water started to carve out a new course through the streets of Ruza, flooding many houses and completely washing away 5 of them. Luckily, the water levels increased slowly, which gave residents the chance to leave the hazardous zone safely. Local authorities now face serious challenges, not just restoring infrastructure, but also building hydraulic structures that can effectively protect against climate surprises. The autonomous region of Inner Mongolia in China is abundant in water resources, with more than 1,000 rivers, such as the Yellow River, and about 1,000 lakes. In the city of Hulunbuir, you'll find the important Chinfa Reservoir, which holds 3.9 million cubic meters of water and features an open discharge system. During the summer of 2021, after intense rainfall, the dam collapsed, causing significant damage to the national highway. Fortunately, everyone in the flood zone downstream was evacuated in time. In the summer of 2024, a reservoir in Yulin County, located in southern China, suffered a catastrophic failure. Built in 1985, this reservoir holds 15 million cubic meters of water and boasts an impressive dam that's 780 meters long. Unfortunately, the scale of the project means that it comes with significant risks. After a major collapse that impacted the bridge spanning the dam, a vast region was flooded.